The rain hammered down on Fifth Avenue like God's own judgment, turning the sidewalks into rivers of regret. Isaiah Kane, heir to a crumbling tech empire, stood drenched under the awning of a forgotten deli, his Armani suit clinging like a shroud, whispering to the empty night, "Marry me. Just say yes, and I'll make it all go away." Across the street, Levi Harper, eyes hollow as the alley he called home, froze mid-stride, his threadbare coat no match for the storm, wondering if the devil himself had finally come calling with a proposition too cruel to refuse. Isaiah's voice cracked like thunder in the downpour, raw and unfiltered, the kind of desperation that strips a man bare. He'd meant it for the ghost of his ex, the one who'd gutted him 6 months ago with a leaked affair and a boardroom coup that left Kane Innovations teetering on bankruptcy's edge. But Levi heard it, word for word, as he huddled against the graffiti-scarred wall of a shuttered bookstore, his fingers numb around a soggy cardboard sign that read, "Anything helps." In the heartbeat between breaths, their worlds collided, not with a bang, but with the soft, inevitable splatter of Isaiah's polished loafers stepping into Levi's puddle. Levi didn't flinch. He'd seen worse than a soaked yuppie unraveling in the rain. Junkies twitching in doorways, cops with billy clubs itching for a swing, lovers who'd promised the moon and delivered fists instead. But this guy, this Isaiah Kane, whose face Levi vaguely recognized from a Times Square billboard hawking some app that promised to revolutionize loneliness. He looked like he'd swallowed a grenade and was waiting for it to go off. Levi pushed back his hood, rain sluicing down his stubbled cheeks, and met those wild blue eyes. "You talkin' to me, rich boy? 'Cause if you are, the answer's no. I ain't nobody's pity fuck or rebound fantasy." Isaiah laughed, a jagged sound that echoed off the skyscrapers, more sob than mirth. He staggered forward, the umbrella he'd bought from a street vendor moments ago forgotten in the gutter. Up close, Levi saw the cracks. The red-rimmed eyes, the tie loosened like a noose half-tied, the faint tremor in hands that probably signed million-dollar deals without blinking. Pity? God, no. It's insane, I know. But look at me. I'm drowning out here, and not just in this goddamn rain. Marry me. Fake it. 1 year, tops. My family's breathing down my neck about succession, the shareholders want stability, and after what that bastard did, publicly humiliating me, tanking the stock, I need a ring on my finger to buy time. I'll pay you $1 million upfront. Levi's stomach twisted, not from hunger this time, but from the absurdity of it all. $1 million? That was a lifetime of hot meals, a roof that didn't leak, maybe even a ticket out of this concrete jungle he'd been circling for 3 years. But trust? That was a luxury he'd pawned off back in Seattle, when his own fairy tale had curdled into nightmare. He eyed Isaiah, taking in the broad shoulders slumped under invisible weight, the way his lips quirked in a half-smile that begged for mercy. "You don't even know my name, man, and I sure as hell ain't signing up for your soap opera. Walk away before I decide you're just another suit looking for a cheap thrill." But Isaiah didn't walk. He sank onto the wet stoop beside Levi, close enough that their knees brushed, the heat of him cutting through the chill like a lifeline. "Name's Isaiah. And yours?" When Levi hesitated, Isaiah pressed on, voice dropping to a conspiratorial hush. "Come on. Humor a fool in the storm. What's the harm?" "Levi." It slipped out, soft as the rain's patter now easing to a drizzle. Levi Harper, once a rising star in indie film production, reduced to scavenging for half-smoked cigarettes and dodging eviction notices in his head. He hadn't said his name to a stranger in months. It felt like handing over a piece of his soul. "Levi Harper. And you're crazier than a fox in a henhouse if you think I'd." "Harper, like the poet? Fits you. Got that quiet fire in your eyes." Isaiah's grin widened, genuine for the first time, chasing shadows from his face. He pulled a flask from his coat, top-shelf bourbon, the label gleaming even in the wet, and offered it over. "1 sip, then hear me out. No strings, no tricks, just a proposition between 2 guys who've hit rock bottom in different zip codes." Levi took the flask, the metal warm against his palm, and tilted it back. The burn spread like wildfire, loosening the knot in his chest. He handed it back, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. "All right, Isaiah Kane. Bill. But make it good, 'cause I'm fresh out of patience for tall tales." What followed was a torrent. Isaiah's empire built on an AI that matched soulmates, or so the pitch went. Ironic now, after his fiancée, Marcus, had sold company secrets to a rival for a cut of the pie and a penthouse quickie. The board was circling his father, a steel-hearted magnate from the old guard, demanding he man up and secure the legacy with a wedding that screamed stability. Fake it till you make it, Isaiah figured. Enter Levi. Unassuming, untraceable, with a face that could pass for ruggedly handsome in a rom-com reboot. "You're perfect," Isaiah said, eyes lighting up. "No skeletons in your closet that'd drag us down. We sign a prenup, play the part at galas and press junkets, and when the year's up, you walk with enough cash to start over. I get my life back. Win-win." Levi stared at the flask, now half empty between them, the city lights blurring into halos. Perfect? He almost laughed. If Isaiah knew the truth, the embezzlement scandal that had framed him, the lover who'd turned state's evidence to save his own skin, the way Levi had fled cross-country with nothing but a backpack and a warrant in his rearview. He'd run faster than a subway rat. But the money, it whispered promises of vindication, of lawyers and appeals, of proving he wasn't the thief the headlines had branded him. "What's the catch? You gonna parade me around like a show pony? Make me sign away my firstborn or some shit?" Isaiah leaned in, their shoulders touching now, a spark jumping despite the damp. "Catch is you gotta pretend to love me. In public, anyway. Hand-holding, stolen glances, the works. But privately, we're just two dudes surviving the apocalypse. Deal?" Levi's heart thudded, a rhythm he hadn't felt since warmer nights tangled in sheets that smelled of possibility. He extended a calloused hand. "Deal. But if you screw me over, Isaiah Kane, I'll bury you deeper than your ex's secrets." Their handshake lingered, raindrops catching the neon glow, sealing a pact as fragile as the city around them. Little did Isaiah know, the man he'd just roped into his chaos carried ghosts that could either haunt them both, or light the way home. As dawn crept over the Hudson, painting the skyline in bruised purples, Isaiah hailed a cab, insisting Levi ride shotgun, no arguments. The driver, a grizzled vet with a Yankees cap pulled low, eyed them in the rearview like he'd seen this movie before. "Rough night, fellas?" he grunted, pulling into traffic. "You have no idea," Isaiah muttered, slumping back as the warmth of the heater thawed his bones. Levi sat rigid, backpack clutched like a shield, watching Manhattan unfold. Yellow cabs honking symphonies, steam rising from grates like dragon breath, the Empire State piercing the clouds like a defiant middle finger. It was beautiful, brutal, alive in a way that made Levi's veins ache for more. They pulled up to Isaiah's building, a sleek monolith of glass and steel in Tribeca, the kind that screamed, "I own the view, and the view owns me." Security buzzed them through, and as the elevator whisked them skyward, Isaiah chattered to fill the silence. About his corner office with the infinity pool, the rooftop garden where he grew tomatoes nobody ate, the cat named Whiskey who'd probably hate Levi on sight. "He's a prickly bastard, like his owner," Isaiah joked, but his eyes searched Levi's face, probing for cracks. Levi nodded along, but inside, panic clawed. Elevators meant no escape, and this penthouse? It was a cage gilded in marble and recessed lighting. The doors dinged open to a foyer that could swallow his old apartment whole. Herringbone floors, abstract art screaming money, a wall of windows framing the awakening city. Whiskey, a tabby with one ear notched from street fights past, slunk over and sniffed Levi's boots, damp leather from thrift stores before sneezing disdain. "See? Instant chemistry," Isaiah said, kicking off his shoes and padding to the bar cart. "Scotch? Or something softer? I got that kale smoothie crap for mornings after." "Water's fine." Levi dropped his pack by the door, feeling like an intruder in his own skin. He wandered to the windows, pressing a palm to the cool glass, watching ferries slice the river below. Freedom so close yet caged. Isaiah handed over a crystal tumbler, clinking it gently against his own. To bad ideas that might just work. And to you, Levi Harper, my knight in faded denim. They toasted, the sound echoing too loud in the vast space. For a moment, it was just them. Two strangers toasting survival, the weight of unspoken histories hanging like fog. But as Isaiah poured out the logistics, lawyers on speed dial, a courthouse elopement by noon, rings from Tiffany's because optics matter, Levi felt the first thread of something dangerous unravel. Not just the lie they were building, but the truth peeking through. Isaiah's laugh, warm as summer asphalt. The way his fingers brushed Levi's when passing the glass, accidental but electric. By midday they were hitched. The judge, a no-nonsense woman with a Brooklyn accent thick as bagels, raised an eyebrow at the mismatched duo. Isaiah in a fresh suit that hugged his frame like a promise. Levi in borrowed chinos and a button-down that smelled faintly of Isaiah's cologne. You boys sure about this? Love's a battlefield, and paperwork don't make it easier. Surer than sunrise, Isaiah quipped, sliding the platinum band onto Levi's finger. It fit perfectly, cool and heavy, a shackle disguised as salvation. Levi echoed the vow, voice steady despite the storm in his gut. And just like that, Mr. and Mr. Kane Harper were born. The press release dropped that afternoon. Kane Innovations CEO weds in private ceremony. Stability for the future. Stocks ticked up 3%. Champagne corks popped in boardrooms. But in the quiet of the penthouse as Levi stared at his reflection. Clean-shaven now, hair trimmed by Isaiah's stylist. He wondered if he'd just traded one hell for another. That night, they rehearsed. Isaiah coached him on small talk for the upcoming gala. Smile like you mean it. Lean into me like I'm your anchor. And if anyone asks how we met, say, Central Park. Serendipity under the oaks. Levi practiced in the mirror, his drawl softening to blend with Isaiah's polished clip. But when Isaiah stepped up behind him, hands on his hips to adjust his stance, the air thickened. Like this? Isaiah murmured, breath ghosting Levi's ear. Close. Intimate. Levi's pulse raced, memories flooding. A Seattle loft, a director's arms around him, whispers of forever shattered by betrayal. He stepped away, masking it with a chuckle. Got it, coach. Don't want to cramp your style. Isaiah's hands fell, but his eyes lingered, curious and kind. Hey, we're in this together, yeah? No judgments. Yeah. Levi lied, turning away. Together. If only Isaiah knew how deep the rabbit hole went. The gala loomed like a guillotine. 3 days out, but Isaiah dove in headfirst, turning the penthouse into a war room of wardrobe fittings and media prep. Levi trailed behind, a shadow in bespoke tailoring that itched against his skin like guilt. Mornings blurred into coffee-fueled strategy sessions. Isaiah pacing with his tablet, rattling off sound bites. Our love story? Does the app come to life? Two souls synced against the odds. Levi nodded, scribbling notes on napkins, his handwriting a scrawl from days of journaling in shelters. Whiskey became their unlikely mediator, curling between their feet during late-night pizza runs. Isaiah insisting on deep dish from Joe's. Levi countering with thin-crust slices from the corner bodega. Authenticity, man. Levi teased one evening, sauce smudged on his chin as they sprawled on the leather sectional. The TV flickered with CNN, pundits dissecting Kane's surprise nuptials as a savvy PR move. Isaiah muted it, tossing the remote aside. They're half right. But you're more than a shield, Levi. You're real. The word hung, heavy as the bourbon they shared after. Levi felt it stir something dormant. A flicker of trust, fragile as a match flame. He shared scraps. Growing up in a Rust Belt town outside Pittsburgh, summers at his grandma's farm chasing fireflies, the itch to create that led him to film school. Dreamed of telling stories that mattered. Ones about folks like us. Overlooked, underestimated. Isaiah listened, chin propped on his fist, eyes soft in the lamplight. Us? You mean gay guys navigating this straight-laced circus? Levi shrugged, heat creeping up his neck. Yeah, or just survivors. Doesn't matter the label. But it did. In quiet moments, Levi caught Isaiah watching him. Not with the calculated gaze of a CEO, but with hunger, the kind that poets chase and fools ignore. Isaiah opened up too, in fits and starts. His father, Harlan Kane, a self-made titan who'd clawed from Queens tenements to Wall Street wolf, viewed emotion as a liability. He built the company on grit, not heart. Says my AI's a joke. Machines can't love, son. Neither should you if you want to win. Isaiah's voice dipped, laced with old wounds. Marcus? He was my rebellion. Thought he saw me. Turns out he saw dollar signs. Levi reached over, squeezing his knee. A reflex, platonic but charged. He was blind then. You're more than your net worth, Isaiah. Their eyes locked, the room shrinking to the space between. Isaiah's hand covered Levi's, thumb tracing a slow circle. And you? What's your story, really? The one behind the eyes that see too much. Levi pulled back, the touch burning. Later, rain check. He busied himself with dishes, heart hammering. Truth was a luxury he couldn't afford, not yet. The night before the gala, tension cracked open. Isaiah's assistant, a sharp-elbowed redhead named Tessa, arrived with dossiers. Background checks, because paranoia pays dividends. She handed Levi a folder stamped confidential, her smile all teeth. Welcome to the family, Mr. Harper. We've dotted the I's. Alone later, Levi flipped it open. Basic stuff. His fabricated bio as a freelance consultant from the Midwest. No red flags. Relief washed over him, until the last page, a grainy photo from Seattle PD archives. Him, younger, cleaner, in cuffs outside a courthouse. The caption, embezzlement suspect flees jurisdiction. His blood ran cold. How? He'd scrubbed his trail, paid cash for greyhounds, slept in bus stations. Someone had dug deep. He confronted Isaiah at dawn, folder slapping the kitchen island like an accusation. What the hell is this? You said no skeletons. Isaiah blinked sleep from his eyes. Robe askew, coffee mug frozen mid-sip. Tessa's thorough. Standard op for high-profile unions. I told her to keep it light. Light? This is my life you're rifling through. Levi's voice rose, fists clenched. You have no idea what this is. Do you? That photo? It's bullshit. Framed by the guy I thought I loved, who skimmed millions and pinned it on me to save his ass. I lost everything, job, home, name. Ran because fighting meant rotting in a cell for a crime I didn't commit. Isaiah's face paled, mug clattering down. He rounded the island, hands up like approaching a spooked horse. Levi, I swear. I didn't know. Tessa reports to the board half the time, Harlan's orders. But this? We fix it. Lawyers, PIs, whatever it takes. Levi laughed bitterly, backing toward the door. Fix it? Like you fixed your ex's betrayal? Nah, man. This was a mistake. I'm out. Don't. Isaiah's plea stopped him, raw and ragged. He closed the distance, gripping Levi's arms. Not forceful, but firm, grounding. Please. I see you, Levi. Not the headlines, not the runner. You. The guy who quotes Bukowski over breakfast and makes whiskey purr with one scratch. Stay. Let me help. Like you helped me that night in the rain. Levi searched those blue depths, finding no pity. Only partnership, laced with something deeper, unspoken. The fight drained out, leaving exhaustion and a tentative thaw. One condition. You burn that file. And we do this for real, no more half-truths. Isaiah nodded, pulling him into a hug that started awkward, arms stiff, then melted into solace. Levi buried his face in Isaiah's shoulder, inhaling cedar and resolve, the dam breaking on tears he hadn't shed in years. Deal, Isaiah whispered, lips brushing Levi's temple. For real. The gala that night was a glittering farce. Crystal chandeliers dripping from the Met's Great Hall, air thick with Chanel and cigar smoke, whispers slithering like serpents. Isaiah, resplendent in midnight tux, Levi at his side in charcoal silk that hit his nerves. They glided through, air kisses from socialites, backslaps from VCs. Levi's hand in Isaiah's a lifeline amid the sharks. Harlan Kane held court by the bar, a silver fox with eyes like flint. He sized Levi up over his scotch, voice a gravelly drawl. So, the mystery man. What's your angle, son? Kane men don't wed strays without a story. Isaiah tensed, but Levi met the gaze steady. No angle, sir. Just fell hard for your boy's heart. Bigger than any empire. Harlan's laugh boomed, but his eyes narrowed. Appraisal, not approval. Heart, eh? We'll see how long that lasts in our world. As the orchestra swelled into a waltz, Isaiah tugged Levi to the floor. Ignore him. He's all bark. Their bodies aligned, chest to chest, the crowd blurring into irrelevance. Isaiah's hand at Levi's waist was sure, guiding, and as they moved, slow spins under the lights, Levi felt the shift. Not pretend. Real. Isaiah's breath hitched when Levi's thigh brushed his, a flush creeping up his neck. You're killing me here, Isaiah murmured, forehead to Levi's. In the best way. Levi's reply was a squeeze of his hand, words lost to the music. But later, in the limo home, champagne buzzing in their veins, the dam broke again. Isaiah's kiss started tentative, a brush of lips in the shadows, then deepened, hungry and honest. Levi yielded, hands fisting Isaiah's lapels, tasting salt and surrender. It was messy, fervent, a collision of need long denied. They tumbled into the penthouse, shedding tuxes like skins, but stopped at the bedroom door, breathless, boundaries intact. Not like this, Isaiah panted, foreheads pressed. Not rushed, when it's right. Levi nodded, chest heaving, the ache sweet rather than sharp. Right? They parted with a chaste goodnight, but sleep came laced with dreams of what-ifs. Days blurred into a rhythm, mornings tangled in sheets, fully clothed, but close. Isaiah's head on Levi's chest as they scrolled scripts. Levi pitching story ideas for Kane's next app update. Afternoons at the office, Levi shadowing board meetings, his insights on human connection earning grudging nods. Evenings on the rooftop, stars winking over the harbor, sharing silences that spoke volumes. But shadows loomed. Tessa's emails grew curt, Harlan's calls more probing. And Levi's past? Simmered, a pot ready to boil. One night, scrolling news on Isaiah's laptop, he froze. Seattle cold case reopened. Embezzlement ring linked to Hollywood insider. His ex, Devin, smiling in a mugshot now the rat finally caught. Hope flickered, but so did fear. If Isaiah learned the full scope, how Levi had trusted Devin blindly, built a life on sand, would it shatter them? Autumn deepened in New York, leaves carpeting Central Park in crimson defiance, mirroring the slow burn building between them. Isaiah threw himself into salvaging Kane innovations, late nights coding with Levi at his side. Levi's outsider eye catching flaws in the algorithm, suggesting tweaks born from stories of fractured loves he'd witnessed on Skid Row. Make it ask the hard questions, Levi said one midnight, feet kicked up on the desk. Not just what's your type, but what broke you? Isaiah paused, cursor blinking, and turned, chair swiveling to face him fully. What broke you, Levi? Beyond the frame-up. The real scar. Levi's throat tightened, the rooftop confession echoing. He toyed with his ring, twisting it like a talisman. You really want to open that box? It's Pandora's, full of what-ifs and whys. Try me. Isaiah's voice was gentle, no demand, just invitation, lit by the glow of dual monitors. So Levi spilled, words tumbling like leaves in wind. The Seattle indie scene, buzzing with promise. Meeting Devin at a rap party, all charm and camera-ready smiles. He was my first real shot at it all, producer cred, a loft with a view of the sound. Said I had vision that we'd change the game. But the money vanished. Investor funds for their debut film siphoned into Devin's vices. Then pinned on Levi when audits hit. Testified against me to cut a deal. Said I was the mastermind. Left me with a rap sheet and a one-way ticket east. Isaiah's jaw clenched, fury flashing blue. Bastard. We'll nail him, sue for defamation. clear your name. My resources, your fight. Levi shook his head, a sad smile ghosting. It's not just the legal crap. It's the trust one lost. Believed in him like he was gospel. Now, walls up higher than your building. Isaiah stood, rounding the desk to perch on its edge, close enough to bridge the gap without crowding. Then let me be the exception. No gospels, just us. Flawed. Figuring it out. His hand found Levi's, fingers interlacing. Steady. I get it, you know. Marcus didn't just sell secrets. He sold me out to my old man for a pat on the back. Harlan knew, kept quiet to toughen me. Family, right? Their laughter mingled, bitter-edged but bonding. In that shared fracture, something healed. A stitch across the chasm. Isaiah leaned in, sealing it with a kiss. Soft, exploratory, lips parting to taste the vulnerability. Levi responded, hands rising to cup Isaiah's face, thumbs tracing jawlines worn by worry. It lingered, deepening to embers, but pulled back to size and foreheads touching. Getting there, Isaiah whispered. Right? Right? Levi echoed, heart full. Publicly, the charade charmed. Tabloids dubbed them the unlikely misters. Profiles gushing over Isaiah's whirlwind romance with the everyman. Stocks climbed. Harlan grumbled but conceded at Thanksgiving dinner. A lavish spread in the Hamptons, turkey carved with surgical precision. Levi charmed the old man with tales of Pittsburgh steel mills, drawing parallels to Harlan's rise. Grit's universal, sir. Bends but don't break. Harlan grunted approval over pie, but his eyes, sharp as ever, lingered. You're good, kid. Too good, maybe. Cane men sniff out cons like bloodhounds. Isaiah bristled, fork clattering. He's family now, Dad. Back off. The table tensed, silverware stilling, but Levi diffused with a grin. No con here. Just a guy who lucked into the best plot twist. Laughter rippled, tension easing, but Levi caught Tessa's gaze from across the room. Calculating, cold. She slipped out early, phone to ear, whispering urgently. Back in the city, cracks widened. Isaiah's board pushed for expansion, acquiring a rival startup, the very one Marcus had funneled secrets to. It's poetic justice, Isaiah told Levi over takeout tie, eyes alight. Buy him out. Gut the poison. But Levi, scrolling investor reports, spotted red flags. Inflated valuations, whispers of insider trading. Slow down, babe. This smells off. Like Devon's deals. Too shiny, bound to shatter. Isaiah waved it off, stress etching lines around his mouth. Trust the numbers. Or me. I do, Levi insisted, but doubt seeded. The bomb dropped mid-December, snow blanketing the streets in hush. Isaiah's phone buzzed during a client lunch, Harlan's name flashing. Son, we're fucked. SEC's rating. That acquisition. It's a front. Marcus is talking. Says you greenlit the leaks to tank us. Then buy low. Isaiah's fork dropped, face ashen. What? That's insane. He's lying to bury me. Levi's blood chilled. Across the booth he pieced it. Tessa. Her sidelong glances. The folder she'd forgotten in the office. Now weaponized. Betrayal round 2 but from within. They raced to the penthouse. Isaiah barking orders to lawyers. Levi digging through files on the sly. Buried in emails. Tessa's correspondence with Marcus. Threads weaving a noose. She's been playing both sides, Levi said. Screen glowing accusatory. Fed him dirt on you, primed the rival for sabotage. And Harlan? He knew, pushed the deal to test you. Survival of the fittest. His words. Isaiah collapsed onto the couch, head in hands. My own blood. And Tessa, I gave her everything. Why? Power. Or spite. Doesn't matter. We fight. Levi knelt before him, tilting his chin up. Like we fought that night in the rain. Together. Isaiah's eyes, shattered glass, searched his. You don't have to. This could drag you under. Your past, splashed everywhere. Levi's resolve hardened. Then we drown or swim as one. Your call. The kiss that followed was fierce. A declaration. lips crashing, hands clutching like lifelines. It poured out. Grief, rage, the unyielding thread of them. They broke apart gasping, foreheads braced. Swim, Isaiah vowed. With you. The storm hit full gale. Headlines screaming Kane Empire in turmoil. CEO implicated in fraud. Protests outside the office. Shareholders fleeing like rats. Harlan cut ties publicly, oppressor decrying disappointing lapses. But privately texted Isaiah, "Prove me wrong, boy, or lose it all." Levi stepped up, his film-honed instincts kicking in. "We go narrative," he pitched over war room coffee. "Not defense, offense. A tell-all docu-series. Your story, unfiltered. Pull back the curtain on betrayal. Show the heart behind the code." Isaiah blinked, spark reigniting. Risky, but, yeah, raw, real. They assembled a team, indie filmmakers Levi trusted from old networks, cleared through NDAs. Filming started in the penthouse. Isaiah raw, recounting Marcus's knife twist, Harlan's cold forge. Levi directed from shadows, coaxing truths. Off camera, their bond deepened. Nights curled on the couch, whiskey purring between, whispers tracing vulnerabilities. One evening, snow flurrying past windows, Isaiah traced Levi's ring finger. "This started fake. But you, real as it gets." Levi's heart swelled, pulling him close. Their kiss unfolded slow, deliberate, exploring maps of scars, breaths sinking like the app's perfect match. Hands roamed gentle, over shirts and skin, promises in every touch. They didn't rush to bedsheets. Instead, they held the precipice, savoring the climb. But Tessa struck back. Leaked to TMZ, Levi's mugshot, plastered with "Billionaire's bum bride," "fugitive fiancé," the spin, gold digger with a criminal past, conning Isaiah into ruin. Paparazzi swarmed, questions barbed as shivs. Isaiah shielded Levi at every turn. Arm around waist, glares lethal. "He's my husband. End of story." Harlan summoned them to his Upper East Side fortress, a brownstone redolent of old money and older grudges. "You wed a felon?" he thundered, clipping from the post waved like a flag. "This is the legacy I built?" "He's innocent," Isaiah fired back, Levi silent at his side. "Framed, like I'm being now. You're doing, Dad. Pushing that tainted deal." Harlan's face twisted. Anger, then flicker of shame? "Survival, son. You think I got here playing nice?" Levi spoke then, voice steady. "Nice ain't the goal. Right is. And right now, you're sinking your own ship to test his hull." The room stilled. Harlan eyed him, appraising anew. "Bold. Stupid but bold. Get out. Fix your mess." Outside, snow swirling, Isaiah deflated. "He'll never bend." Levi cupped his face, thumbs brushing flakes from lashes. "Then we don't need him. We build our own." Christmas Eve dawned brittle. The city strung in lights that mocked their unraveling world. Kane Innovations shuttered temporarily, employees on furlough, the board fracturing into factions. Isaiah holed up in the penthouse, screens a blue haze, combing data for proof of Tessa's treachery. Levi balanced him, cooking haphazard meals from pantry staples, cueing old rom-coms to pierce the gloom. "See," he'd say during When Harry Met Sally, arm slung casual over Isaiah's shoulders. "Even cynics get the girl. Or guy." Isaiah leaned into it, tension easing in increments. "You're my Meg Ryan. Fake it till you make it wizard." But the leaks persisted. Anonymous tips to regulators painting Isaiah as the villain. Tessa vanished, gone on leave. Her desk cleared like a ghosting. Levi's PI, a grizzled ex-cop named Ruiz he'd connected through Seattle remnants, dug dirt. Tessa and Marcus, entangled deeper than deals. Affair, alibis, a plot to oust Isaiah and split the spoils with Harlan's tacit nod. "Family tradition," Isaiah muttered, staring at Ruiz's report, veins bulging in his neck. "Betray to ascend." Levi pulled him up, forcing a walk through the park. Snow crunching under boots, breath fogging in festive air. Vendors hawked roasted chestnuts. Carolers harmonized Silent Night off-key. They paused by the Bethesda fountain, angel statue weeping frozen tears. This city's got its own betrayals, Levi said, nodding to Bethesda Terrace's arches, etched with history's scars. But it endures. Like us. Isaiah turned, snow dusting his beanie, eyes fierce. Love you for that, you know? The poetry in the punch. Levi's breath caught. Love, tossed casual as confetti, but landing heavy. Yeah? Well, ditto suit. Even when you're brooding like a Bronte hero. Their laugh echoed, drawing stares. But they kissed there, open, defiant, tongues tracing warmth against the cold. Passers-by hooped. A phone flashed, but Levi didn't care. This was theirs. Back home, they decorated half-heartedly. A tree from the lobby, ornaments clinking as Isaiah strung lights. Levi blasting Springsteen. Whiskey-batted tinsel, unimpressed. Over eggnog, spiked. Naturally, Isaiah proposed toast, not ring. New Year's resolution. No more half measures. Full throttle, you and me. Levi clinked glasses, pulse thrumming. Full throttle. New Year's brought no ball drop euphoria. The docu-series teaser leaked. Isaiah's raw confession trending Kane Unfiltered. Splitting public opinion. Allies rallying. Detractors dubbing it damage control theater. Harlan called. Voice gruff over speaker. Foolish, but gutsy. Meet me. Neutral ground. The diner was a Soho relic. Vinyl booths cracked, coffee burnt, anonymity in the steam. Harlan slid in opposite, nursing Black Joe, Levi and Isaiah flanking like sentries. Heard your little film pitch, the old man grunted. Stirring the pot won't save you. SEC's circling. Marcus flipped full, naming names. Isaiah leaned forward, knuckles white. Including yours? Or Tess's? We have proof, emails, wires. You greenlit the sabotage to force my hand. Harlan's gaze flicked to Levi, then back. Survival. Thought it'd weed out weakness. But you're fighting dirty. Like me at your age. Like you. Isaiah scoffed. You built on backs, Dad. I'm building bridges. Levi interjected, calm as lake water. Bridges hold weight. Backs break. Choose. Harlan drummed fingers, rings glinting. Test passed, maybe. But Tessa's lawyered up. Marcus too. You'll need more than home movies. Isaiah's phone buzzed. Ruiz. Breakthrough. Got her. Tessa's burner logs tie her to the rival's offshore accounts. And Marcus? He's singing about a bigger player, your old mentor, Dad. Victor Lang. Harlan's face drained. Victor, his protege turned nemesis, poaching talent for decades. Son of a. All right. Truce. I'll pull strings, quiet ones. But the boy. He nodded at Levi. Clear his slate too. No loose ends. Levi's chest tightened, vindication. Dangling. Appreciate it. But earn it. The old man barked a laugh. Cheeky. Fine. Papers by week's end. Outside. Isaiah hooped, spinning Levi in the slush. We did it. Halfway home. But Levi's joy tempered. Devon's fall meant closure, but reopening wounds, testimony, trials. Worth it, he murmured, kissing Isaiah's glove. For us. January thawed the snow but not the siege. The doka dropped full, hearts in code, streaming to millions. Isaiah's vulnerability. Tears for Marcus, fire for Harlan. Humanized him. Levi's cameos, directing with quiet command, stole hearts. Ratings soared, sponsors knocked. But backlash bit. Trolls dredging Levi's past. Headlines sneering, from slammer to altar? Isaiah countered with a live X-Space. Levi beside him on the broadcast. Love doesn't check rap sheets, Isaiah said, hand in Levi's. It sees souls. Levi's mind fierce, forgiving. Framed by a liar, but unbreakable. The chat exploded, hearts, shares, a tide turning. Donations poured for Levi's legal fund. Celebs voiced support. Even Harlan thawed. A gruff email. Proud. Don't fuck it up. Yet Tessa lurked. She surfaced in a deposition, tear-streaked on CNN. Isaiah's paranoia drove me. The marriage? A sham to cover embezzlement, with his husband's help. Fabricated docs followed. Forged transfers linking Levi to the rival. Rage boiled. Isaiah paced the penthouse, fists balled. She's twisting everything. We end this, sue her to oblivion. Levi, calmer, scrolled Ruiz's latest. Wait, look, her alibis crack. Phone pings place her at the rival's HQ during leaves. And Marcus? He's recanting, scared of perjury. They pounced. Presser announcing countersuit. Evidence dump. Tessa folded, pleading out for lesser charges. Marcus followed, spilling on Victor, full confession, implicating Harlan peripherally but shielding family. February bloomed tentative. Trials loomed, but momentum shifted. Levi's Seattle case reopened. Evidence mounting. Devin pleading guilty to orchestrate the frame. Cleared by spring, his lawyer texted. Isaiah's firm stabilized, acquiring the rival clean, purging the rot. In the lull, they escaped, to Isaiah's cabin upstate, Adirondacks blanketed in white. No Wi-Fi, no whispers, just wood smoke and whiskey. Levi chopping logs while Isaiah sketched app updates by the fire. Nights, they talked till stars wheeled. Dreams deferred, futures sketched. One evening, aurora faint on the horizon. A rarity, Isaiah swore. They made love. Not frantic, but sacred. Clothes shed slow, hands mapping reverent. Isaiah's lips on Levi's collarbone, whispering beautiful. Levi's fingers in Isaiah's hair, grounding gasps. It was union, souls sinking beyond code. Tender thrusts, shared breaths. Climax a quiet wave crashing mutual. After, tangled in flannel, Isaiah traced Levi's spine. Marry me, for real this time. Levi chuckled, kissing his brow. Thought we already did. Again. Vows we mean. Isaiah's eyes shone vulnerable. I love you, Levi Harper. All of you. The runner, the dreamer, the man who saved me without trying. Tears pricked. Love you too, Isaiah Kane. Walls and all. They sealed it there. Ring exchanged anew. Simple gold bands, engraved against the odds. But Victor struck last. March gale. Lawsuit from the shadows, claiming IP theft from Kane's early days. He'll bury us? Isaiah fretted. Back in the city, boardroom a pressure cooker. Levi sifting archives, unearthed gold. Forgotten server logs, Victor's digital fingerprints on the original betrayal. Stealing Isaiah's prototype code years back. Harlan's cover-up to protect the fledgling firm. Jackpot, Levi breathed, handing over the drive. Your truth serum. Isaiah's grin was wolfish. Our. Spring erupted in Manhattan. Cherry blossoms riding pink along the High Line. A counterpoint to the courtroom dramas unfolding. Victor's suit dragged. Depositions a minefield of half-truths and glares. Isaiah testified first. Poised, unflinching, laying bare the mentorship turned malice. Victor didn't just take code. He told the packed gallery. Levi in the front row, hands squeezed for luck. He took trust. My father's too. Harlan, subpoenaed, took the stand next, gruff, evasive, but cracking under cross. Admitting the hush on the theft, a youthful indiscretion to shield the empire. Whispers rippled. The judge's gavel cracked like judgment. Levi's turn came in Seattle, a video link for efficiency. Facing Devin, gaunt, handcuffed, eyes downcast. Levi's voice held no venom, only finality. You broke more than a bank, Dev. You broke belief. But I rebuilt stronger. The DA nodded along. Evidence piled. Devin's solo signatures, falsified logs. Verdict. Not guilty. Record expunged. Levi walked free, metaphorically at least. Isaiah waiting in the hotel, arms open. My exonerated hero. They celebrated quiet. Dim sum in Chinatown, steam rising like prayers answered. What's next? Isaiah asked, chopsticks twirling noodles. Hollywood calling? That doku opened doors. Levi shrugged, content. Maybe, or here, consulting for you stories in code. Partners. Full stop. The word settled warm as the broth. Partners. Beyond labels, beyond legacies. Back east, Victor crumbled. The drive's logs proved theft. His countersuit vaporized in settlement. Kane Innovations absorbing his scraps. A phoenix from ashes. Harlan, sidelined but not silenced, offered olive branch. A corner office for Isaiah. On merit, not blood. Isaiah accepted provisionally, stipulating Levi on the creative board. Modern family, he quipped. Tessa's plea deal closed the circle. Community service, restitution, a gag order muting her venom. Marcus faded to footnotes, a cautionary tweet. Summer hummed in, the city shedding winter's skin. Isaiah and Levi honeymooned late road trip down Route 66, chasing Americana in a vintage Mustang convertible. Dust Bowl diners, Grand Canyon sunsets, motel neon flickering confessions. In a Taos adobe, under star-pricked skies, they renewed vows. Officiant a local artist, witnesses tumbleweeds and whiskey, crated yowling. In glitches and grace, Isaiah vowed, ring slipping true, forever synced. Levi's reply, in rain and redemption, always. Fall circled back, anniversary gold. The Gala Redux, at the Met, but transformed. Hearts in code launch party. Interactive booths where guests matched via the app, stories projected on walls. User-submitted tales of love's detours. Isaiah keynote, Levi at podium beside. We wrote our algorithm in Betrayals Inc., but love? That's the debug. The human spark no code can fake. Applause thundered. Harlan, in the wings, clapped slowest, eyes misted. Later, over caviar canapes, he pulled Levi aside. You saved him. Oh, you, son. Levi clapped his shoulder. Family repays in full. Winter whispered warnings, but they were armored now. One December Eve, mirroring their meet-cute, rain lashed Fifth Avenue. Isaiah dragged Levi out. No awning, no deli. Just them, dancing sloppy in the storm, suits soaked, laughter peeling. Marry me, Isaiah yelled over thunder, echoing that desperate plea. Levi yanked him close, kissing fierce. Every damn day, yet life layered nuance. Isaiah's app evolved, now with therapy tie-ins, crisis hotlines embedded. Levi scripted shorts for it, vignettes of queer resilience. A drag queen mentoring runaways, two dads fostering in the Bronx. Harlan softened, volunteering board time. Awkward at first, then earnest, sharing queen's yarns over beers. Challenges lingered, boardroom skirmishes, Levi's nightmares of cuffs, Isaiah's arms the cure, the world's casual cruelties. But they navigated, therapists and talks fortifying. One crisp April morning, 2 years post-rain, Isaiah woke Levi with coffee and a folder. Not legal, but luminous. Our next chapter. Inside, blueprints for a foundation, Kane Harper House, shelters for LGBTQ plus youth, wrapped in tech for safety, stories for healing. Your vision, Isaiah said, eyes bright. Our legacy. Levi's throat closed, pulling him down for a kiss salt sweet. Ours. But truth's full bloom came unexpected. Digging for the foundation's launch gala, Levi uncovered Harlan's deepest vault. Letters from Isaiah's mother, dead young, pleading with Harlan to teach love, not just win. And a codicil, will amendment, naming Levi co-heir. For seeing what I blinded. Harlan confessed over scotch, voice gravel soft. Feared you'd dilute the bloodline. But you mended it. Isaiah, overhearing, hugged his father fierce. First in memory. We all mend, Dad. The gala glittered, but intimate. Survivors sharing stages, youth pitching app features. Isaiah and Levi closed, hands clasped. We asked for marriage in madness, Isaiah said, voice carrying. Found truth in the mess. It saved us, not from ruin, but to each other. Levi added, eyes locked. And that? Worth every storm. As the foundation took root, so did whispers of expansion. Satellites in Seattle, nods to Levi's origins. LA hubs for his film dreams. But peace proved elusive. Victor, bitter in exile, resurfaced. A tell-all manuscript leaked online. Codebreaker. The Cain betrayal. Twists. Harlan's complicity exaggerated. Isaiah painted puppet. Levi the street hustler catalyst. Pandemonium. Stocks dipped. Donors wavered. Trolls resurrected Levi's ghost. Isaiah fielded calls in the penthouse, voice steel. Lies. Will litigate. Levi, scanning the draft, spotted the ploy. Victor's desperation bid for relevance. Riddled with holes. He's bluffing. Use it. Turn the narrative. They did. Counterdoku, truth in the thread. Crowdsourcing debunk via user sleuths. The app mobilized, fans dissecting claims, unearthing Victor's forgeries. It went viral, Cain truth trending, Victor's publisher dropping like a stone. Harlan, redeemed sentinel, testified in the injunction hearing. My sins, yes, but not my sons. The judge sealed the manuscript, Victor slinking back to obscurity. Summer solstice brought balm. A quiet wedding redux, this time public, rooftop vows at dusk, city as witness. Friends, new and old. Tessa's replacement at ally, Ruiz toasting gruff. Family, Harlan walking Isaiah, misty-eyed. Levi's vows. You saw me in shadows, pulled me to light. I vow to hold that flame, through code and chaos. Isaiah's. You taught me love's not algorithm, messy, miraculous. I vow your story in mine, eternal. Rings exchanged, kisses sealed under fireworks. Literal, Isaiah's flourish. The afterparty spilled to the streets, impromptu block bash. Food trucks, queer choirs, joy electric. Autumn harvested fruits. Foundation thriving, first residents. Kids like young Levi, eyes wide with hope. Isaiah's app hit unicorn status, therapy integrations saving lives. Levi's short rain proposition premiered at Tribeca, semi-auto. Their meet-cute mythologized, critics raving, tender triumph. Winter wrapped gentle. Christmas at the Hamptons, Harlan carving turkey with jokes, whiskey underfoot. New Year's on the rooftop, ball dropping distant. They slow danced to jazz from a Bluetooth speaker. 5 years from that rain? Isaiah murmured, cheek to Levi's. Feels like yesterday, and forever. Levi's hand splayed over Isaiah's heart, steady thrum. Yet humanity's arc bent bittersweet. Harlan's health faltered, prostate shadow, treatments grueling. He and Isaiah mended late. Hospital vigils, stories swapped. You were right, Harlan wheezed one eve. Levi at bedside with broth. Heart over hustle. Thank your stubborn hide. Levi squeezed his hand. Stubborn's genetic. Harlan past spring equinox. Quiet in sleep. Legacy entrusted, not burdened. Eulogy at St. Patrick's. Isaiah's words, Levi's hand in his. He taught grit. We add grace. Grief-tempered growth. The foundation renamed Cain Harper Harlan Homes. Plaque. From ruins, refuge. Isaiah shouldered CEO duties heavier, Levi anchoring co-CEO now, balancing board with scripts. Challenges evolved. Global pushes, backlash flares, personal tempests. Isaiah's burnout, Levi's script rejections. But they weathered, therapy a ritual, date nights sacrosanct, pizzeria slices in the park, rain or shine. One drizzly December dawn, 5 years exact from the hook, Isaiah woke Levi with a note. 5th Avenue. Now, suit up. Levi arrived, umbrella forgotten, to Isaiah on one knee in the puddle. Ring not new, but the first, scuffed with memory. Renewal, he said, voice thick. Marry me again? Knowing all? Levi hauled him up, kissing through tears. Every time, truth and all. The city swirled indifferent, but their world centered. 2 men, forged in storm, standing in light. Betrayal's blade dulled to lesson. Love's code, unbreakable. In America's vast tapestry, flawed, fierce, they wove enduring thread. Not saviors, but survivors, synced in grace. And in quiet nights, whiskey purring, hands entwined, they whispered thanks. To rain, to rings, to truths that saved not just empires, but souls. Epilogue whispers. A nursery planned, adoption dreams budding. Legacies not blood, but chosen, stories told, lives lifted. For in the end, the hook wasn't the plea but the answer, yes, against all odds.